is we're going to talk about this Seattle Kraken CEO on the expansion. I know there was news out there that an AP reporter tweeted, then deleted. So this is what it talks about here. Seattle remains hopeful on bringing an NBA team back to the city, but they aren't getting ahead of themselves. Kraken CEO Todd Loecki expressed that the city is ready for an NBA return, but they won't get ahead of the NBA. When asked about the rumors that the NBA is ready to announce expansion teams, Lewicki said preferred not to address the rumors. I'm not going to address that. That's going to be a lot of rumors and innuendos. You know, we think the best thing that we can do is not get ahead of the league. Lewicki said they've got big issues coming. They're in a CBA discussion, and they've got broadcast deals coming up in due time. They will get to do this, and in due time, we're going to be well positioned. The
You know what
Seattle.
that means?
What
Oh,
does that
sorry.
mean?
Go ahead.
No,
Keep,
go ahead. Go ahead. No,
keep
go
reading.
ahead.
I was just going to say that means that they already have a deal in place and there's a team coming to Seattle. I mean, that's
Yeah.
literally what that means. He wouldn't say that stuff and be so coy about it if there wasn't
Mhm.
already some sort of under the table bargain already made, or just like an
Mhm.
understanding that as soon as it happens, as soon as the opportunity presents itself, it's going to happen. I
Yeah.
genuinely think this gets announced like sometime in the next, I would say 7 months, I would say.
Yeah. And then really quick, let's see here. Did say the Seattle and the prospect ownership group have set the stage for an NBA return. Without kind of reading the rest of this article, I think it is safe to say that the NBA is probably going to return to Seattle at some point. It's just, I think the people of Seattle, and you could clearly tell by the energy of the game last night with the Broncos and the Seahawks.
Mm.
Whether you agree or disagree with the booing is a different sport and a different
Yeah.
conversation. Um, the passion and energy is there here in Seattle. I think a lot of people, we even talked about the Pro-Am in Seattle a couple of weeks back. Um, Everyone is excited about the NBA. And I think that as soon as the league can kind of figure out with the CBA deal and, the broadcasting stuff, I think that they want something up here, man. It makes no sense, man. It makes no sense why the NBA is not here in Seattle in 2022. Because I
Yeah.
think the market's there, everybody's excited about sports, and I think it is a sport loving city. Does it have the history of a Chicago and New York or even in LA? No, but it
I
has
mean, we got more history than other places, that's for sure. We have a
yeah,
championship in Seattle.
probably a little bit more better than Oklahoma. Oklahoma's not known for their basketball.
True.
And not to dig the Thunder, but I am going to dig the Thunder just a little bit. But we love basketball here. I mean, this is a basketball city. We think about the history of all the high school teams here in Seattle. Think about all the Metro teams that are here. Think about all the players that played in Seattle that are part of the NBA right now. Banchero and DeJounte Murray, just to name a few. And that's a very few. There's a lot more. Kevin Porter
Mhm.
Jr., Matisse Thybulle,
Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr. I mean, there's so many people that have played in the Seattle area, and the fact that the history is there and the fact that there's no team here is a big crime.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we haven't even said yet, and probably the most important part of it all, right? Beyond just the city of Seattle, the NBA has literally never been deeper than it is right now. Whether you think teams could beat teams in the 90s, I genuinely don't care. Whatever the old heads say, I mean, whatever. It just doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
New school, old school fans, it genuinely does not matter your personal taste to what basketball is right now. It's, I would say, factually true that the NBA is deeper than it's ever been before. With the integration of international basketball and just all these players growing
Mm-hmm.
up everywhere with the ability to watch coaches on YouTube, go to different places and learn these skills that guys in the 90s and 80s and 70s could only dream of learning, right? It's only going to get more deep too. So, you look at the growth that just like the G League has undergone and some of these other places. And look at, you mentioned it too, the Pro-Am game that was in Seattle, but just look at the Drew League, how much interest there was for summer basketball this
Mm-hmm.
year and last year. It gets more and more every season. So you think there's got to be a place for some of these other guys, because you're going to start getting to a point where legitimately great players can maybe miss out on playing in the NBA because it's such a deep league. So
Yeah.
you just add a few more teams. Let's get those 2 teams in there. I mean, dude, in a fantasy world, it would be so amazing if this was the off season and then, they did their expansion draft. I mean, imagine going into the 2023 season, that expansion draft and what those teams would look like. I mean, that's going to be so incredibly hype, not just for people in Seattle or Las Vegas. I mean, that's interesting for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And again, the preseason hype is here in Seattle. I mean, Tar Heel Nation, you talked about it here. What section are you guys sitting in for the preseason? I'm not sure if we are going to go. I'm interested in going, but that's probably an offline conversation at some point. But I think it would be a fun thing to go to and just kind of again see that atmosphere in an NBA setting, and really get the feeling of it. So it might be worth going at some point.
Well, and 2, you think between some of the summer stuff that was going on and, obviously these preseason games, I mean, it's all leading up to that announcement. It's a trial run for the arena to see what they need, how it's set up to host that many people. I mean, we're getting there. We're getting really close.
Exactly. And so, you kind of made me think, Tar Heel Nation, I'll probably go and just kind of report back on a different day, talking about the experience. So that might be something to look into. So I actually might do it. And I work like pretty close to the Seattle area, so it's a perfect opportunity there. Actually, shoot, it's a Monday. I might have to do the Sunday one actually, or whenever the Friday.
Yeah, let's look at it because I might go with you.
Okay. But with that being said, again, the Seattle area, we are looking forward to basketball. Again, this is just rumors so far. We're still looking into it, but I think at the end of the day, we're going to get the history back. I think we're going to get the team back. And I think with having a team here, instead of trying to drive 3 hours to Portland and then back, so 6 hours total, plus the game, I mean, that's a lot of travel for someone that's committed to ball. And so I'm hoping that the NBA can, again, get a team in here, let us have it. But let us know in the comment section down below, what do you guys make of Seattle potentially getting a team relatively soon? As soon as the CBA is done talked about, I think that's another topic to discuss in the future. But let's talk about it later on down the line when we get there. So again, let us know in the comment section down below. What do you guys make of this rumor?